Keep walking.
Finally, we found the last person we need after all. I'm Helig Cross. I'm leading an expedition to the land south of Dalantarth, the teeth of Naros, and we could use another strong back. Few facts. The only record of a successful journey there was by an Almain missionary named Denric, returned half dead and maddened to hell. He claimed the southern land as home to a miraculous city, wrought of gold and trimmed with silver, even said it floated above the earth. If you can believe it. It's hard country, damn impossible to find a pass in the mountains, but if I'm right, this cavern will take us under them. Then we only need to begin. I've seen to all the logistics, and all the preparations for the journey. Meet us in the southern passage. Let's try to cover as much ground as we can. Stay close.
What is it?
The time of deliverance is almost nigh. The teeth of Naros have gone untamed since the rocks were young, since the wind was but a child. And now, my chosen people stand on the precipice of taming this land, or succumbing to it. I thought once that none could change the stars of this world. But at last, one has come who can. Come, thou faithless one, I beckon thee.
What the hell is that thing?
Yes? This... what is it? It looks like it's made of stone. But this stain... this is blood. This thing is flesh! I'm not going to stick around and find out what killed this thing. This whole damn place is cursed.
Damn craven. Don't know what Cash was getting so worked up for. Just a statue somebody toppled over, and got all bloody. Let the mage run to his mother. We don't need him. We don't even know if it was a corpse. Could have been a statue that an Etin decorated with some entrails, or something. I can't believe that craven mage.
Don't bother me. Don't bother me.
Wait a moment. I don't like the look of this hallway up ahead. This is Sferry's area of expertise. Let her take the lead here. What was that? First the mage turns coward, then Sverri dies doing the one thing she's supposed to be suited for. Is this some sort of joke? What's next? Are you going to reveal you're really just a kobold with a bad case of mange? Clearly, I should be more thorough when recruiting my expeditions. Fine, let's just keep moving. We'll manage on our own from here. Come, we must make Sverri's death. Here I go. Damn Sverri. What? What in the hell were those things? I've never seen anything like them. I heard of the dangers of the southern land, but are the gods themselves conspiring against us? Here I go. Hold on a moment. One of those damn beasts hit me worse than I thought. I think I need to rest for a while. Here, I'm going to wait here. Scout the passage ahead, and see if you can find a place to make camp. Will you stop fussing over me? It's not doing either of us any good for you to stay here. We need to find some place to make camp. You better. Go. We need to find safety for us.
And so, after centuries, it has come to pass. The cipher has reached thy hands, Second. At last, my work can be completed. This is a conduit, for I cannot speak with my true voice and form to one beyond the veil. I have waited for this conversation for decades, centuries, and eons. I have waited for that which can bear my burdens. And now, what I read in the Fates lies fulfilled. Thou, the unfated one, are here. And with thine arrival, my great works can culminate at last. To continue thy path through the tapestry of fate and perpetuate its sundering, I will open the way to the teeth of Naros. Seek the Primos, and thy duty will be made clear in time. Go now with my blessing. Go now with my purpose. For thou art beckoned. That which was ordained must be undone.
What can I... First we have an army of Jotun at our gates, and now this. I don't know you, little one, but you'll find no quarter here. This is still Colossi-held territory for the moment. State your intent. You barge into these lands, and yet you do not know who holds them? I am. My people are Colossi. For years we have held these lands as the hallowed grounds of our gods. We are stone and flesh, sword and faith. Everything does harm in these lands. I do not know you, so why should I take you at your word? Furthermore, none have come from those caverns since they were sealed, save you. How is it you came here? It is a road that has gone otherwise unwalked since it was sealed. How did you walk this path? Statue. Could it be? An auspicious claim, but we must put it aside for now. The Jotun rally. Steel yourself. That was well fought, little friend. You have a strength in your arms that belies their lack of girth. Perhaps you are not the interloper I believed you to be. You claim to have been summoned, but for what purpose? What strange forces brought you here? You speak of the Holy King of my people, and that artifact you bear. Could it be the cipher? Your mission is twice damned already. The Primos is a recluse. But more immediate than that is the Jotun horde. Idilla is sealed off as long as they continue plaguing my people. Yes, hiding away in his high tower and pining for gods that will never listen to him. The Primos is the highest office among the Colossi, reserved for the one that leads my people in politics and prayer. At least that is how things should be. But Anakatos, the latest to have this authority, has not lived up to his duties. Our people are stranded in a wild land, in a time of our greatest doubt, and he locks himself away from us. Our ruler leaves us leaderless. A relic of great importance to those of my people that carry the faith. I thought it was just a myth, but one who carries the cipher is much loved by the gods. So the sages of my race say. A blessing as much as a curse. It is the city you see floating in the sky over this land of savages and dangers. It is my people's greatest accomplishment and failure. I cannot speak more of it to an outsider. Forgive me. The Jotun are led by Karunk, a warlord that reigns over his horde from his ramshackle tower. One of my scouts, Remy's, watches them now. He can offer you advice on fighting the warlord. And if you can kill Karunk, I will lead you to the Primos myself. Bring word to the city. They will need to know about the Jotun and this...
Ah! What a horrid little thing you are. Are you some kind of Jotun runt? Explain yourself quickly. The last thing I want is to give away my position. That much I was aware of, and I knew Sikandra would send someone. But you? A sign of the times, to be sure. But if you're to do the deed, then I have information that you will need. Karunk is truly powerful, but no more so than his brethren. It is not his strength that's troubling. It's his fortitude. 2 kobolds he keeps with him work some strange magics that heal his wounds and help him resist injury. Kill them, and the fight is yours. Using primal magic would certainly help as well. Strange thing, aren't you? Primal magic is a magic imbued upon weapons and gems. Only armament can channel it. The magic does some damage on its own, but its true strength is its ability to augment other magics you cast on your foe to a devastating degree. Take this weapon, use it to inflict primal magic on a foe, and let loose your spells. Even a Jotun warlord could not withstand such an onslaught. Be careful.
I had heard. From Remy's, I received word that one such as you entered Karunk's tower with no trepidation, no anxiety. Do I even have to ask? Does the war chief still draw breath? It was said the gods would call their champion, and here you are bearing the cipher, seeking the Primos. If you have learned something of primal magic, this staff may be of value to you. Take it with my thanks for your role in killing the warlord. Now my forces can put the rest of the Jotun to the spear beckoned. Before this day, I thought it was just a myth, a lie my people told ourselves to make our sins more bearable. The beckoned is a deliverer. The beckoned speaks for the gods. The beckoned is their messenger, their conduit. What is the beckoned? One who carries the cipher, the icon of the gods. One who faces the troubles of my people without hesitancy. The beckoned is you. With their leader dead, they will likely keep to themselves and lose the will to harry my people as they have. I will wager that they won't suffer incursions into their camp, for good or ill, but still they have caused my people suffering. Shall we wait and allow them to inevitably rise again? This is our best opportunity to finish them. I owe you much for killing Karunk beckoned, so I will do as you say. I only hope you do not reap bitter fruit from your generosity. Now I will take you to the henge, and then to the Primos, as I promised. An artifact my people made. With the city in the sky, we knew we needed a way to travel from the teeth and back. The energies it focuses are the same as those that keep the city aloft. They can levitate people and objects safely. Very well. You did it. Here, beckoned. This artifact you see before us is a henge. We use it to transport to the city. It may be uncomfortable at first. I still recall retching after my first journey with it. But it is the only way into the city. Very well. And here you have it, Idilla, our great failing. Now let us go to Anakatos. He may hide from our people's needs, but he will not refuse a visitor sent from Athene. Farewell. Mind your step here, beckoned. I wouldn't want the Colosse's failure to claim any more lives than it already has. It is not here by choice. Or our choice, anyways. Such questions would be better suited for the Primos. Suffice it to say that this was made in anticipation of something that never occurred. The goddess of wisdom was our patron. Though my people worship all the Titans, they hold Athene as our personal guardian. But the gods do not look to us or listen to us. What manner of patron neglects their charge, leaves their wards to the wilderness? Farewell.
You must be the beckoned.
Beyond these stairs is the sanctuary of the Primos, the leader of the Colossi people in the teeth of Naros. I must warn you, Onokotos has not left these quarters in years. He vowed to never cease his prayers until the gods answered them, and his people have languished for it. But I think his answer has finally arrived. Speak to him, beckoned. His people have need of him. After years in his sanctum, I doubt he is the Primos I once knew. But though we all languish in the god's absence, none suffer as he does. He will likely see you as the answer to his prayers. Farewell.
Is there anything I can assist with?
The Primos has made it clear that he is not to be disturbed.
And though the path be fraught with tribulation, know that it leads to the land of our greatness, and that we walk it with you. Such were the words the gods spoke to the progenitor of my race when they sought to guide us from our base origins into a fruition of potential. The words have been in my heart every day of my reign, but now they are embodied. Welcome, beckoned. At last, this city will be complete. Because we are all of us, my whole people, incomplete. Because we are not worthy enough, not deserving enough to see such wonders of the gods. And I thought that failure was a finality. I have prayed to the gods in seclusion in hopes of an answer. But they were as quiet as the silent choir. Now the beckoned is come. With you, the gods can bear witness to us atoning for our inadequacies. We must start at once, beginning with the wreath of absolution. Something no Primos would ever wish to wear. They are only made in times of great need, and we must prove to the gods our devotion. The Wreath of Absolution can only be created from the hands guided by Athene. I must ask you to assemble it. First, a golden prayer circlet is needed to serve as its base. The art of crafting one is all but lost to us, but I require one all the same. The last Primos to wear a Wreath of Absolution, Arches, is buried with one such circlet. Secandra led you to me, did she not? Then she will lead you to the circlet. It lies in his crypt, in the darkest pits beneath the city. They are old halls, and they have fallen into disuse. I understand there might be trepidations in taking such an artifact from my predecessor's crypt, but I assure you, it is ordained. The times we have arrived at are desperate, and when the heavens show their intent, one cannot stand too much on ceremony. We are so close now.
I hear you. You return. Well, the Primos has not graced the ears of his subjects in ages. What has he said to you? The Circlet of Arcase. And Anakatos expects me to lead you to it? Has his reclusion left him senseless? Has he forgotten his history as well as his people? Very well. As I cannot refuse the Primos, I will meet you in the crypts in the undersewers of the city. Let us deal with this as quickly as possible. I've had chances to speak of Arcase before, but it is not fitting for me to discuss him. Not now. We can find it in the crypts beneath the city's sewers. They are old structures, forgotten as the city was built above them. Very well. Keep close. There are worse things than marauders in these lower tunnels. They have lurked these walls for decades, raised along with the city years ago. What is it? Come. If Anakatos wishes us to retrieve the circlet, we will do it quickly. I wish to be done with this. They are colossi who succumb to the burden of this wilderness, letting it transform them into mindless brutes. They have the strength of our strongest, with none of the wisdom. Farewell. There. That is the artifact you seek. The Circlet of Arcase. By taking it, Arcase's grave becomes an empty tomb. Let us depart. Anakatos has had his fun with me, and there is nothing left to plunder. It is nothing I can share with you, Beckoned. It is not worth your time. I always thought that were I to come to Arceus' crypt, it would be because of the work of gods alone. And here I am, by the will of none but Anakatos, flesh and blood.
I cannot. I will not. Even after all these years, he has not forgotten his brand of viciousness. He knows I must obey his command. I apologize for my outbursts. However, it can be hard to let convictions go. But we must. We must. Take the circlet back to Anakatos. He is most likely waiting for you. Farewell. I hear you. No one comes down here anymore. It is left to ruin, for the Colossi have no more need of these halls, or those interred within them. How many years did our masons toil to assemble this place? And look at it now. How easily we discard the labors of our past. What can I do?
Those looking to rest can do so at the living quarters.
You bear the circlet of Arceus. Then the wreath is almost complete. The foundation is gold with runes of prayer, as I said. Now, it must be woven with blood and toil. The Colossi furnish the foundation and nature furnishes the trappings. The laurels of the wreath are not crafted, but earned. We seek Teryx veins. Once they are ours, once the wreath is complete, the ritual of atonement can begin. The goddess has shepherded my people for generations. She was responsible for the growth of my people. Somehow, we were found unworthy of her. I have prayed to learn why, but her anger must be far too great. The messenger of the gods, one summoned to bring the word of faith back to our people. I always assumed that the beckoned would be one of my own kind, but you bear the cipher. Your role cannot be made more clear. I take it you have encountered a Teryx before. Likely the mongrel, carrion-eating scavengers that plague us. They are a common foe. We seek the veins of the Alpha Teryx. They are fierce and proud, all that is wild and savage in nature. To prove to the gods the righteousness of our faith, and we must conquer a mighty foe. They will serve. The gods sent you to bear witness to our atonement. To do that, we must complete the Wreath of Absolution. The wreath is made from the large feathers, the veins of the Teryx alphas. They live in eyries to the south. Come, Beckoned.
You must be the Beckoned.
You'd
Many
best watch
greetings,
yourself if you
stranger.
roam the wastes, Beckoned.
Anacatus walks among us, and the citizens are awed. This act seems small to you, Beckoned, but it is enough to give my people hope. I thank you on their behalf, if nothing else. I listen. What can I do? Very well.
In the youth of Amalur lived the Uranos, existing from the hill lands alone. They held not the blessings of the gods, and so were blinded to their own potential. We lived in ignorance among the savage people. We wasted the gifts of the gods ourselves.
We are here. That is good. I feel hope stirring in my veins once more. It is the prospect of reconciliation that has granted me a second youth. Come. We must kill the alphas of each eyrie. With their veins in hand, we shall fulfill the gods' wishes. The Teryx eyries lie in the wilds of the teeth of Naros, to the south of the city. We need not look far to find what we seek. But while there are many lesser Teryx here, we seek only the plumage of their strongest and brightest. These are the true challenge. We must act. Feel my wrath! Feel Balin's embrace! The circlet must be built. Thus we begin. And as we harvest these trophies, you shall learn the journey the Colossi have taken to get here. Once we were but savages, no better than the other giant kin. We were called Myru, and to that identity we were chained until one day, Athene spoke to us. She spoke of a destiny and greatness that was not ours, but could be. She showed us the path of ascension, and we followed it here, to the teeth of Naros. No, we are far from the homeland of our ancestors. Undoubtedly the gods wished us to renounce our savage history. It was necessary. Though the Jotun and Etin once regarded us as kin, they grew jealous of us, of the strength we gained from the gods' favor. Tensions rose to war. It was a sign from Athene to my people to seek a new homeland, where the bounty of her wisdom could be harvested eternally. We must act. Feel my wrath! We wandered the teeth of Naros in search of the homeland we were promised. And when hope seemed lost, we found the Hyperion. It was a divine artifact. No mortal hand could have crafted it, a massive stone, alone in the wilderness, with the image of a floating city engraved upon its surface. At the city's heart was the Hyperion itself. We knew then Athene was tasking us to craft this wondrous city, to form a covenant. But we betrayed that ideal. To test our worthiness, the gods have strewn throughout Amalur riddles, puzzles, and challenges. Answering them demonstrates our greatness. The Hyperion is one such challenge. Perhaps the greatest of them. And though we discovered it years before, we still do not have the answer. They are vicious beasts, wild and strong. The Alphas, our quarry, are particularly fierce. The Silent Choir is a group of our most faithful followers, and serve me as I serve the gods. So deep is their faith that they never speak upon entering service. This land is the crucible by which my people might be forged to their new destiny. Vicious and inhospitable, it rebukes my people's every step. It is a riddle carved of stone that the gods left for us. It shows a city of the clouds, with the Hyperion itself floating at its heart. It was a covenant the gods wished to form with us, to raise Idylla and the Hyperion with it. But the riddle is difficult, and we have no answer for it. Very well, Beckoned. Come. Circlet must be... Feel Balin's embrace! Feel Balin's embrace! In the end, the city rose, but the Hyperion did not follow. The heart of the city remained unmoved. That we could not abide. My predecessor, Arches, sought to force the Hyperion up, but the Hyperion rejected him, killing him and his followers, and sealed itself away. Our work here is concluded. Since you seem to favor the arts of magic, take these. I used them once. May they guide your meditations. I must make the gods see that my people can be redeemed for the faults of Arches. With the wreath in hand, I can conduct a ritual of atonement. As you bear the cipher, the conduit to the gods, you will bear witness. Come, we must conduct this ceremony at the site of our original transgression. Let us go to the Hyperion. If it will not, then why were you brought to me? To give pretense to salvation? To raise our hopes, only to crush them with failure? I know the gods of my forerunners. They would not flaunt the answer to their riddles without sharing it. Now come. The Hyperion awaits. He led my people into the times that you see today. The gods did not favor his reign, clearly. I am the Primos of the Colossi people. As I lead them in politics, I lead them in prayer. Salvation awaits. You have come, good. We stand in a ground once hallowed beyond all things, now tainted by the excommunication of my people. Ever since that terrible day when arrogance and desperation brought about the disfavor of the gods, my followers have tended this place. Now come. We shall go to the antechamber of the Hyperion, the very spot where the sins of the Colossi were answered. The antechamber is the flawed design of Arches. It was the means by which he sought to force the Hyperion to join the city. It was to do so using the spark of divine magic Athene placed into each of us, that these fragments combined would create a force equal to that of a god. Such power was never meant to be wielded by the unworthy. The energies struck back at Arches, and the many assembled in his chamber, killing them. It is where the former Primos, Arches, bade the Hyperion to rise to join our city. Where the gods saw fit to condemn us for our hubris, it will be the altar of our forgiveness. We are so close now.
I am glad to see you survived the Teryx Eries beckoned. And now I see that Anakatos is intent on fulfilling his whim. I would be careful. The temple is old since we elected to spare the Jotun, I can return to my regular duties of keeping the peace in these lands. Anakatos requested an escort for his followers here. Would that I could refuse, but the Primos asked for me personally. I dislike this place. For all we saw when claiming Arcas's circlet, this temple is his true tomb. It is the tomb of so many. We learned definitively that all the trials we surmounted, all the strife we weathered in pursuit of Athene's love, had been in vain. But the most important lesson was learned by few. We cannot depend on the heavens to support us. We should make our own way in this world. Arcas and Anakatos have already shown me the delusions of faith. I only hope this farce is done with quickly. Very well.
Much was ruined in that dark hour. The magics holding the paths together were unbound. Only the cipher can reorder such magics. Press ahead and set the path. If you were curious, I could tell you more. The mural you see before us is meant to represent the triumph of my people. But all I see is a broken promise. The mural depicts the great sanctification my people have undergone. We were never to ascend past the brutish people you see depicted. Yet here we are now. Thanks to the will of the gods and their tests of valor. But now that they've fallen silent, what awaits us? I know the answer already. Regression. We are so close now. Again, we find the way barred. I'm afraid I need your help once more. Come. The antechamber waits below. Come, beckoned. Come. We must finish this. We have reached it. Beyond that stone is the Hyperion, the gift of the gods, the symbol of a covenant concluded. It rests out of reach, waiting for the day when the gods forgive our trespass, when they find us worthy again. Until now, I feared such a day would not come. We should begin. The gods visited this room once before. It seems only fit that you occupy their position. I will take my place where Arceus once stood. Long before, Arceus dared grasp the power of the gods and was judged according to his impudence. We act now as their analogues. In you, the gods visit this chamber once more. You shall stand where they appeared and made manifest their wrath. And I shall stand where Arceus stood and bore the brunt of their imminent will. Come, beckoned. Thank the gods! Praise be to them after all this time. I bear witness to their confirmation. You have done so well, Beckoned, to bring the cipher to me and to let me use its strength. With you, I can do what Arceus could not, command the Hyperion. This chamber harnesses the magic needed to control the Hyperion. But before you appeared with the cipher, no force was sufficient. I knew that when we first met, when I first sensed the cipher, that I could unseal the Hyperion and command its power. Why else would the gods furnish you, whom I needed most in my lowest hour? I already do. You cannot know the agony of this decision. And I know that on this spot years before, the gods judged Idylla and its people unworthy. I will finally appease them. For I will use the energy of the Hyperion to destroy it. Once Idylla falls, I will forge from the ruins a people the gods approve of. I'm sorry. You must be a martyr to our cause, Beckoned. But it must be done.
What has happened? Why are Anakatos' acolytes attacking us? What is he doing with the Hyperion? Destroy Idylla? No! That zealous fool! Have the loss of his gods driven him to such despair to use the Beckoned and the Cipher for such ends? We must make our way from this place. We cannot stop Anakatos from here. Take this talisman. The Silent Choir acolyte who bore it won't need it anymore. Now let's move. How if we cannot reach him? And we can do nothing to stop him if his worshippers kill us here. We must make for the surface, and hope that there is time enough for us to deal with him. Be cautious in these lands. I hear you. Anakatos has sealed himself in with the Hyperion, and his Silent Choir will lay down their lives for him. I do not know what to do, Beckoned. I have defended my people from beasts and disasters, but nothing like this. Of course, I will not let Anakatos destroy my people because he believes the gods demand it. I know we have the strength we need inside of us, despite his claims. We are worth saving, even if the gods disagree. But Anakatos has sealed himself in the Hyperion antechamber. Without the cipher and knowledge of the Hyperion, we are lost. Anakatos was clever by exploiting your power. The cipher must be the key to unlocking the Hyperion, and he has broken it in his plan. But that is the one thing my people have been unable to do since we first came here. Only the Primos would know enough about the riddle for us to even try. Anakatos and his Silent Choir had a monastic retreat in the wilderness, Naros. If we need his knowledge, we best start our search there. It is an old portion of the city that was never raised up. It was supposed to be a shrine of quiet contemplation. Now it is the refuge of Anakatos' Silent Choir. The complex rests where it was first carved, in the Mountains of the Teeth. Very well. We cannot waste time. There does not appear to be much here, but we have to be thorough. We should try near the shrine of Athene. Anakatos prizes her above all else. I would wager he keeps his secrets with her. Farewell. I won't hold you.
Beckoned, not time. Seek Primus below.
I, Anakatos, make this record in penance for my disappointment of the Supreme Goddess Athene, in hopes that I may return to her favor, so that I could help my people find her strength once more. I have committed several acts that may have angered her, and now I purge myself of them so I might find her grace again.
Hold a moment. These are bodies of colossi. What are they doing here? Wait. I recognize some faces. Belfron. Armandia. These were great colossi, all viable competitors for the role of Primos at one time or another. I do not like the implications of this. What has Anakatos wrought? Be cautious in these lands. That was the goddess. After years of... I cannot. We must do as she bids. Her voice sounded broken. Whatever is happening at the Hyperion troubles even her. I don't understand. Corpses of colossi. Signs of struggle. This isn't the place of a holy man. This is the refuge of a monster. For all his prayers and piety and sacrifice, this is what Anakatos is up to? This is what his followers are doing? Very well.
I am afraid we have dishonored my master, Arches. He is a pious man who has always sought to serve, and we use the power of his position to force us on the true path without his knowledge. Slavery, oppression, pain, all are used to mold them into what is deemed worthy.
Trespassers, you are too late! The council already lies dying in the torture chambers, and the Jotun slaves will soon be butchered as the master ordered. Come, brothers and sisters, let us deal with these curs.
Here, I found these during the fight. I do not know what they once bound, but they might be of use to you. Now, we must decipher what that cultist said. But there are also the slaves. They will be killed if we don't save them. But if the council is dying, we must choose who we see to first. The council must be important. Something that could help us find a flaw in his plan, perhaps, or learn more about the cipher in the Hyperion. I do not believe so. The Council is dying if Anakatos' dogs are to be believed, and the slaves are to be executed. I am unsure who we should be trying to help, but you are the Beckoned of Athene. I must defer this choice to you. So decide. Do we go to the slave pens and help the slaves? Or do we go to the torture chambers to try to find Anakatos' council before it dies? Be cautious in these lands.
In this confession I shall tell of how my master was brought nearly to his death. Arches failed Athene in our mission to bring her servants to a devout state that would be worthy of her power and wisdom. At my behest, he sought the Hyperion force to the sky to earn our recognition. The ensuing eruption of Athene's wrath killed many, and nearly took dear Arches.
The Primos cannot succeed. The Primos cannot succeed. These Jotun slaves are fighting for us. Could it be because we spared them when Karunk was slain? Come, we must find these torture chambers and learn what we can from Anakatos' council. I do not know. All I know is that it lies dying if Anakatos' slavers are to be believed. It was good that we helped the slaves, but we have lost much time. I hope the council still lives. Be cautious in these lands.
We must bring Anakatos to justice. This room looks like the Hyperion antechamber. Is this where he conducts his torture?
You... I am past the point of much, but I can feel the warmth of Athene in you, strange one. Has my time come at last? I cannot see. I cannot see. I know the beckon comes, but I cannot even look upon you. I am beyond rescue. Anukatos kept me alive, and though I wished for death many times, I knew I had to live. Athene commanded it, for I spoke with her the day the gods struck us down for our folly. The day Anukatos hid my broken body and told the world I died. But I leave you not without a guide. Tell Sikandra she must remember her last day. She must.
Arcades. I had always... He had died. He had died years ago when the gods rebuked him and our people. It was truth. Anakatos had him alive and tortured. I watched him die years before. All that was left of him was a circlet. A circlet. Our last day. The day... Could it mean the last day that I saw him? The last day we spoke? Before the Hyperion tragedy, he asked me to escort him through the wilds, to the shrines outside the city, the shrines of earth and air. He told me to remember them when times seem bleak. I thought nothing of it, but could he have known about this? About now? I once thought that faith was what would ruin my people, the thing that would distract them from their happiness. But I see now, it is apathy. To not care for our people, that is Anakatos' sin. As I thought it was our cases before him. But this is so much larger. Larger than I ever thought. An Arcase. He always knew that I would be here. He must have always known. The task is clear. We need to... Ah! My head. Can you feel it? Something is wrong. This magic. Anakatos has done something. We must return to the city. We might be too late. Something grave has happened. I can feel it in my body. I fear Anakatos may have accomplished his goal. I don't know why Arcais spoke of this. Apparently, it's necessary for unsealing the Hyperion. But how? I was expecting answers from Nyxaros. And we're only getting more questions. Be cautious in these lands. What can I do? The city seems intact, but still, the henge has already become disrupted. Anakatos has sealed us from the city. It is only a matter of time before he finds a way to destroy Idylla. We must find what Arcais spoke of, and quickly. Arcais requested specifically that we go to the shrines of earth and air on the last day we spent together. There are 2 sites in the wilderness, touched by the gods, one in the peaks of the Teeth, and the other in its canyon. These were called the Shrines of Earth and Air. I thought nothing of them, but Arcais knew. He must have known this day would come, when we needed them. Yes, the Hyperion was larger, more impressive, but these areas bore the same mysterious substance that the Hyperion was crafted from. We have never seen its like before. It must be some divine element. The gods use it then as a marker for us. Yes, I was young, but a talented god. He asked me to escort him personally. I cannot say for sure, but there is more than coincidence here. That Arcais showed these places to me, that he mentioned them as he died. But we have little else to act on, and with every moment the chance of Anakatos' calamity occurring grows greater. It rests in the teeth of Naros, but south of the Hyperion and the city. It is nestled between the great crags of rock that make these mountains. Farewell. Let us finish this. We have left Anakatos with the Hyperion for too long. We have to hurry and follow Arcais' instruction. Be cautious in these lands.
Beckoned. Thou hast gone.
These... I doubt that anyone has walked these halls since they were first shaped. I wonder if the words Arcais spoke were true. I do not know for sure. When Arcais came here with me years before, he said this of the Earth Shrine. The earth is dark and heavy, and dangers hide unseen. Accept the light in darkness, for it knows the way.
A light in this gloom is welcome, but I would not wander too far off the path. Very well. Something feels strange beckoned. When you harnessed the Earth Shrine, my limbs never held more strength. You look more whole, and I can feel the magic pouring through this land already. We must be close. The Hyperion waits. It waits in the higher peaks of the teeth of Naros. But I have a feeling that Anakatos knew that we would find them. I don't know how easy this will become, but we have to keep going. Farewell. What is it?
Time is at hand.
The path opens once more. To think that all this time we had the answer to the Hyperion below our feet. That our road to Anagatos forced us to solve this riddle seems more than coincidence. I cannot say for sure it is different from the Earth Shrine. This place is thin and cold. But I remember the words Arcé said. To harness the air, you must walk on the wind. Somehow this shrine will make that true.
Very well. Final task waits. Let us finish this.
What is it? The cipher is whole again. As are you. We can unseal the Hyperion that we might stop Anakatos. And we've done so much more. I thought this all was to bring Anakatos to his judgment. But I was wrong. There is much more at stake here. Communing with the Hyperion beneath the city. We have to stop him while we still can. How long have we left Anakatos to his task? And Idylla still rests. What is he doing? It was so much like the Earth Shrine, but different. When I got near, I felt so light as to be blown away. Remarkable. It looked like the Hyperion in its own way. The gods, when they made the Hyperion, they must have left this as well. But it felt entirely different. Like if I touched it, I would suddenly collapse under my own weight. So it was the same as the Shrine of Earth, a marker for a hidden cave. What could it mean? Did the gods plan this so thoroughly? A hidden cavern? Then the shrine itself was not important at all. Not the stone, but what rested beneath it. Very well. Final task waits.
Just power.
Let us finish this.
I won't.
I hear you. I listen. What can I do? Very well.
So, you have finally come. For the good of my people. It is time we beckoned Mad and fulfilled our roles. You are not so ignorant as that. You are the avatar of Athene herself. I thought you had been sent to purge my people of their limitations, and I was right. But their chief limitation is not sin. It is fate. It is the fate of my people that must be changed, not their piety. That is what stands between us and grace. Our ordained savagery. Yes, the goddess had made much known to me, and most important of all, that I can die so my people may consecrate themselves. As the gods will. You have my thanks, Beckon. It is a great thing we are about to do. You will die, Beckon. Witness my strength. Feel my wrath. Feel Balin's embrace. Witness my strength. You will die, Beckon. Witness my strength. You will die, Beckon.
done it. Anakatos has been killed. But that energy that came from you, it raised the Hyperion. Without its magic to support the structure, this whole temple is coming down. We need to get out of here. Very well.
It is done at last. The fate of Anakatos, the surrogate of all the Colossi savagery, has been shifted. And as his fate was shifted, so was the fate of all the Colossi. Gone is the taint of savagery and barbarism. Has finished, Fecund. Thou alone could do this, and as thou aided me, I am forever grateful. Thou hast freed this people. Thee, Anakatos, Arches, Fecund, all. And the last, your faithful companion, Secondra, I beckon now. Her people need a leader for the glory that lies ahead. Secondra will be Primos.
I hear you. We made it. And you've seen what has happened. The Hyperion soars within our city. We can never thank you fully for your magic. One who wields the elements of Amalur with your ability needs robes to beget their skill. I hope these will serve. You have given us so much. I see the compassion and the influence the gods have had in my people's lives. My life. All along. What Arches said to me on our last day together, what Athene said as we escaped the Hyperion Temple just now, these are no accidents. Your arrival, our meeting, Anakatos' betrayal and finding Arches, these events were crafted intent. I see that now. And as you were beckoned to save my people, now I am beckoned to lead them. But I don't know if I can. She did. There is a legacy that I have left to fulfill, or so the goddess says. An old promise, but I mean to keep it. I may for a time, but only until there is one more suitable to lead. I have no taste for the office. But while I can, I should give this to you. No reward could truly thank you for your service, but we must try nonetheless. Now, let us return to the city together, Beckoned. Let us see the fruits of your labor. Be cautious in these lands.
I hear you. I hear you.
Athene, guide your actions. After all the miseries they have caused, I'm surprised that Jotun was spared at all.
After years of sorrow, my people finally have cause for joy. Hello.
Yes! With the Hyperion raised, we can finally lift our spirits in revelry. We shall never forget this day. It will always be honored as the Festival of Athene. Whatever you may wish, Beckoned. You have done more for my people than might ever be said. Your path is your own, once more. The goddess is with my people once more. I can feel her power flowing through me. I cannot even begin to describe it. Thank you, Beckoned, for bringing us back to her. Even now, I do not fully understand Anakotos' role at the end of this. His joys and sorrows were driven by something beyond faith. But even though his gods sought him to be a monster, he still found joy in them. There is faith, but that takes something more. There was much he should have answered for in his lifetime. But what we saw in Nixaros, he didn't deserve it. He didn't. The city, after all these years, is complete. We can finally cast off our robes of mourning, and we can celebrate the name of Athene. My people will need a leader, now that Anakotos has passed. Until a suitable one is found, I will take his place. We have gained the love of the goddess once more. We were always a people of faith, since Kraos first sought to reforge us. We are whole again. Be at peace, Beckoned.
This way leads to the Primos' sanctum and the Great Mural. I serve Sikandra, as I have for years. Anything she requires, I deliver. The mural nearby is a reminder of why we are here, above the lesser races, through the grace of Athene and the gods. I do not wish to take up your time, Beckoned.
My people owe you a debt, Beckoned. I knew you were bound for great things when you found our city. Be careful out there, Beckoned. I can help repair your equipment. Return to me if your equipment requires repair. Farewell.
Many greetings.
Please, do not disturb the tragedy.
How may I serve?
Please, just let me past.
Keep me here against my will. I'm not some animal.
You know why you cannot leave.
Be careful here.